member of the Ingham County Bar Association who manifests civility in his or her relations with the bench, the bar, clients, and the public. Adheres to and advances the highest principles and traditions of the legal profession. The recipient of this year's award is Brian Goodenough of Foster Swift. A little bit more about Brian's contributions. Brian Goodenough chairs the firm's employer services practice group, where he practices municipal law, zoning, and land use disputes and workers' compensation law. Brian's nominators described him as a natural mentor, someone others go to resolve disputes, and he is beloved by clients and colleagues alike. Wow. Brian served on the council for the workers' compensation section of the state bar for many years. He is a fellow of the Ingham County Bar Foundation as well. Brian has also carved out time to give back in his community of DeWitt. In addition to serving as DeWitt's city attorney, he has served as a volunteer firefighter, thank you, and has been active at various city and township committees and boards. For example, and I'm interested to hear about this one, the DeWitt Ox Roast Board. A little bit about that one, Brian. The nominator for this award describes Brian as in this way, is the perfect confluence of zealous advocacy and civil behavior, even when on those rare occasions his behavior is not reciprocated in kind. He is uniquely able to disarm the occasional rude or angry opponent or even judge with his self-deprecating humor. Brian is just one of those people who chooses to diffuse a situation, even if it occasionally comes at his own personal expense. Please join me in congratulating Brian Goodenough on receiving this year's Theodore Swift Civility Award.
The axe roast.
All right.
Bill, I appreciate your comments. I do have to tell you that I appeared in court with a black shoe and a brown shoe. One step ahead of me. Please don't be alarmed by the number of pages. Every year I get older, the font gets bigger, the pages become more. My name is Brian Goodenough. I'm a partner with Foster Swift Townsend Smith, and I practice in the area of workers' compensation defense and municipal law. Let me begin by saying that I'm very humbled and very appreciative of this award. This is especially true when I see the names of the past recipients. It's also true when I reminisce about Theodore W. Swift, the namesake of this award. I had the opportunity to work directly with Ted on a number of projects during my early years at the firm. Ted was hilarious. He once referred to himself as the one-eyed javelin thrower, stating, "I may not know much and I may not do much, but I certainly keep the crowd awake." Ted did keep the crowd awake, but he also worked extremely hard. He practiced law with humor, intelligence, creativity, and dedication. He loved being a lawyer, and he excelled. I know I only have a few minutes to thank so many, and I'll do my best to be brief. I became acutely aware of the meaning of brevity and civility during my first motion for summary disposition 33 years ago. Shortly after passing the bar exam, Mike Sanders sent me to argue a motion before Judge Houck. Like many young lawyers, I spent days preparing for my motion for summary disposition. To be truthful, I might have actually practiced in front of a mirror. At the beginning of the hearing, Judge Houck noted that he had thoroughly reviewed a very well-written and thought-provoked brief written by Mike Sanders. It was 4 pages in length. He then asked me was there anything that I thought I should add to Mr. Sanders' brief? After 15 minutes into my oral argument, I recall Judge Howe politely holding up his hand and saying to me, "Counselor, as of now, you have won your motion. But do feel free to continue." Now, that certainly created a dilemma for me because I had spent days preparing and I still had a dozen or more very interesting points that I wanted to share with the court, not to mention 12 more pages of oral argument. Fortunately for me, it was my first experience with Ingham County Bar Civility. I recall opposing counsel, a seasoned attorney, recognizing that I was about to make a colossal mistake by beginning in my ill-advised desire to impress the court, stood up and stated to Judge Houck, "Your Honor, if it pleased the court, I would be happy to assist counsel in preparation of an order." I can assure you, it pleased the court. Since my first day at Foster Swift, I've been blessed with incredible mentors, including Tony Smith, Chuck Barbieri, Mike Sanders, Scott Mandel, Brent Titus, and Scott Story. Apparently I required a lot of mentoring. The golden rule shared by each of my mentors and these highly respected attorneys is that you treat everyone with respect. That is an absolute rule. It is without exception. It is the equivalent of the word shall in our profession. Tonight, I especially want to thank Mike Sanders, who nominated me for this award. Mike has undoubtedly had the greatest influence on my career. Mike taught me from day one how to be a better lawyer. He taught me how to interact with clients, opposing counsel, and judges. He emphasized to me the importance of practicing law with integrity and with respect. Mike taught me very early in my career that just because the law gives you the right to do something, it doesn't always mean it's the right thing to do. Despite all the lawyer jokes we hear, I think the practice of law is difficult. In our profession, we collect other people's problems and their worries and their concerns that accompany those problems, and we make them our own. We take the worries and concerns home with us at night, we think about them over the weekend, and we take them on vacation while we search for solutions. Because of that, nothing that we accomplish is even remotely possible without an incredibly strong support system. My foundation begins with Robin, my wife, and our daughters, Ashley and Erica, and our two son-in-laws, Matthew and Justin. On our family road trips, I used to point out to my girls the zoning violations that we would see. They actually gave me a t-shirt and called me Township Man. Ashley and Erica, Justin and Matthew, you now serve as my sounding boards. You're incredibly important to my growth and my career. Robin, you've stood by me and supported me every step of the way for the last 36 years. You've afforded me the opportunity to practice a career I love. Over that 36-year span, I'm sure there are times when I came home after what I refer to as a particularly interesting day, where I may not have appeared to be so civil. As supportive as you are, I'm sure you were thinking only of my work as a municipal attorney when you wrote City Award on the calendar. When I told you that it was actually a Civility Award, you demanded proof. You got the proof. Thank you to my assistant, Debbie Nichols, of the last 15 years. Nothing we do in our practice group is possible without you at the helm. It is truly a pleasure to work for you. And to my practice group and the support staff at Foster Swift, you are all incredible. You keep the lawyers grounded and focused on what's important. I see my entire practice group is here this evening, and that's so meaningful to me. Apparently HR did not tell you this is not considered overtime. Thank you for all the young lawyers and paralegals at Foster Swift who work so hard to make our jobs easier. You are all so smart, you're driven, you're dedicated, and you're so appreciated. I learn something new from you every day. Sometimes you overshare. It's easy to be civil when your team constantly reduces your level of stress. Thanks to my partners, Tom Maher and Scott Chernich, for your friendship and support, and to my former partner, Judge Richard Hillman. We wandered the halls together as associates, and I especially appreciate the wisdom that the three of you have shared with me on various occasions involving the 24-hour rule. It's proven beneficial. Thinking of my friends Bill Hodges, who came here tonight. He's not a lawyer, he's not a member of the Ingham County Bar. He just simply said he had to see it to believe it. And I'm sure that you're not going to do that. I'm going to wrap up quickly here. Thanks to the Ingham County Bar Awards Committee and the staff for putting this evening together. To all of you who worked so hard in this room to make this profession something that we can all be so very proud to be a part of. In preparation for this evening, I looked up the definition of civility. Civility is generally defined as being courteous and polite. It involves making a genuine effort to understand and be respectful of others' viewpoints. While there are variations, no definition that I was able to find anywhere associated the word civility with weakness. I have not met a person in this room that is not deserving of this award. I could easily be standing up here tonight and accepting this award on any one of your behalves. One of the things I love about the Ingham County Bar is that we do respect each other. We can zealously represent our clients' interest, and later that day, share a plate of shrimp and a beer at the annual shrimp dinner. As we move forward, let's continue to be zealous, let's continue to have fun, and let's stay nice along the way.